Got a couple of videos need to do on the van today, so this will end up being two separate videos. But so the first one here we're going to talk about is the oil pan gasket for this. So this has got an LQ4, same as an LS more or less. And so I changed the oil cooler gasket on a number of years ago now, and that worked out well. But there's a secondary problem with these vans, is that the oil pan gasket actually has the channels through it for the oil filter. So now my oil pan gasket is leaking, and it looks a lot like having an oil cooler seal failure because they're right in the same place. So I'm going to be going in and doing that. So it's a fairly simple job. You need a little bit of Permatex because there's a removable front cover on the engine, and then the rear main has got its own cover as well that can come off. You need a jug of oil, need a filter, some Permatex, and I've got the torques written down here as well. We'll go through them quick. So basically it's 18 foot-pounds for the oil pan, which is 2 16-inch pounds, and I'd try to use an inch-pound wrench when I'm down that low, unless I'll have to check my bigger torque wrench and make sure it clicks at 18 on like a lug nut or something. That way you don't end up like over torquing and breaking something. So then the rear main area, there's two super long skinny bolts. They're 106 inch pounds. And then there's a torque converter cover, and that's 37 foot-pounds. So you got to get everything lined up and get it snug, and then you'll go in at the end and do the torque converter cover because it's kind of a structural part of the engine and transmission connection. So that's sort of what we need to do on that. These tools are all for doing the exhaust manifold, which we'll talk about in the other video. So there's not a ton to it, and on a two-wheel drive van it's pretty manageable. So I already drained the oil on this a couple days ago. Had a bit of time, so I went ahead and did that. So that's the front main cover. That's removable. These look like 10 mil bolts. And you can see the oil leak here. And that oil leak is not from the oil cooler. It's the oil pan. And worst case would be that it was the rear main. And to do that, you have to push the transmission back and potentially drop it out to get that out of there. I don't know if they have a special tool for getting that rear main cover out or not. So engine is nice and clean, and then I've also pre-oiled the studs on the manifold while I was under here. So it should be a pretty quick job from what I can tell. Just a little bit of access work to get some lines out of the way, and like I said, they drained the oil already, so we should be good to go. So we'll move on to the getting going with this. All right, let's see if we can pop out some of these bolts here. So this is just a 1/4-inch impact gun. Let's see how we do. Not a problem. So this should go pretty good. Yeah, I don't like the smell of gas-powered engine oil. I like the smell of diesel oil, personally. But let's see what's in here. Looks like the main ground goes onto the block right there. Gotta work my way back. There's the AC compressor with its little belt. And yeah, let's have to scooch over these lines here. And a little bit of a leak up there. That's a bit concerning. I'll have to... Looks like that's the back of the head. So we don't have the doghouse out to work on the manifolds, so we will see if that was me spraying oil everywhere or if that's just the oil pan. Hoping it's the oil pan. And the structural bolts here on the back. All right, so I'm gonna probably get back to the next part of the video with the oil pan kind of dangling out. It looks like I have a low level sensor on here. I'll disconnect that. And you can see some writing on the oil pan as well, saying that it's a structural part of this lineup. So that's why we got to put this in. You don't want the oil pan all cockeyed. Then you put in these two big bolts at the back because it won't work the way it's supposed to. So anyway, we'll get on to this. Things are coming together. Got most of the bolts out now. And I took the filter off again. I already took it off a couple days ago, but there's enough oil in the oil cooler that it refilled the filter a second time. Just waiting for things to kind of drip off a little bit. I've got all of the oil pan bolts out, other than maybe there was something in the back there. Yeah, I guess one more in the back. I've got to get that out, and then the two big ones at the back. These long ones came out no problem. I just brought them loose with the impact gun gently, so I didn't want to snap them off because they are pretty long. They're all soaked in oil, so there's oil everywhere back here. And yeah, so I'll get the oil pan out here next. Okay, oil pan popped off, no problem. You just use a flathead screwdriver to push that up from the side, and you can get that off if you have an oil level sensor. I forgot to do that, so I had to deal with it after. So you can see where the RTV is going to go here on the front main, and then the rear main, and then inspecting the flex plate, I can see there's no oil on it, so I'm clear I don't need to do the rear main. And that wasn't going to happen anyway. You can see the dipstick where it's coming through, and for me, this is an opportunity for me to push this out from the inside to change the passenger side manifold. So I'm going to do a little bit of looking around there and make sure I'm going to do that job today, because then I can push that out now. And what else is there to see? We're going to look at the oil pan, obviously, but you can see some staining. So that gasket had been failed for quite a while, and it looks like I had some internal leakage, possibly, depending on how that oil is coming off the rear main bearing there. But they're just kind of reading things and seeing what we can figure out from the inside. So I gotta clean that off so we don't leave any dirt in the engine. I did use like a wobble, not a wobble socket, but a wobble extension from Titan. So if you have it pushed in all the way, it's locked, and then if you push it forward, it turns your socket into a wobble socket. Those are quite handy. So I use that. Now to look at the oil pan. So you can see, it's pretty bright out, that the front of the oil pan is looking quite good. And this is a replacement oil pan gasket because it fell off. That's interesting. These are supposed to be riveted in here and here, but this one is not. I don't know what brand this is. '0519. That's got to be 2000. What is that? This was definitely not done in 2019, and it wasn't done in 2005 either. So that's a bit of a mystery. But you can see someone's like hand buffed this. So someone's been in here. There's quite a bit of oil marks and residue here, so it tells me it was leaking. And you can see there's a little bit of debris down there. So we'll get that cleaned out. We can take this little baffle plate out and wipe that out. So that one's from 11/29/03. That makes sense. So this was a very late 2004, if that makes sense, because it was just made in the November of 2003. It wasn't one of those ones that came out like a year and a half before 2004. Get that cleaned out. You can see the oil passages. They're shared between the filter and the cooler, so it all kind of works together. And now we'll get this all cleaned off and get that put back in. But yeah, I was anticipating having to drill out a couple of rivets here and here, but like I said, someone's been in here. They've been over it with an air sander, and for whatever reason it leaked. It seemed like it was put together well, but so this is what, a 20-year-old vehicle? I feel like this is a job you got to do probably every 10 years, and with the manifolds, again, that might be a 10-year job as well. So we'll get into that, like I said, in a separate video. But that's sort of where we're at. I'm gonna have to spend a bit of time cleaning up here, and we'll get this put back in. Got everything good and clean. Oil pan is good. Took out that baffle, clean that out. There's quite a bit of junk actually in there. Nothing bad, just varnish and gunk. So I only do an oil change on this thing like once a year, whether it needs it or not, maybe kind of before a trip. And sometimes it's probably been 2 years. So that's just an admission from myself. I got things clean. I was trying to like analyze why this was leaking. And what I found was there was a lot of varnish around the oil gallery lines up there. And I had to scrape that off with a carbide scraper. And I'm feeling that that was the issue. Let's have a carbide scraper here. These things are fantastic. You can work carefully on aluminum and steel and get everything scraped off. So I did that, and I'm gonna put some RTV up there. I didn't find any evidence of RTV. That was another thing that I had kind of thoughts about. And then I did push the dipstick out. I just used a hammer and a punch and popped that out. It was in good shape. This vehicle never gets used in the winter, so it's good. Good time to do a grease job while we're up here on jacks, ramps. So I'm going to do that while I'm up here as well. So I'm going to start putting this thing back together so I can move on to the manifolds. Oil pan is back in, just getting ready to do the torque. So I got this thing set up to 216 for the mains, for the main bolts. Then the rear mains are going to be 106 inch-pound. Then 37 foot-pounds for the two bolts at the back. Everything went nice. I put the RTV in. There was little spots on the gaskets where they tried to seal where the covers join, but I found that they were not likely going to work, so I just added the RTV anyway. I don't know if that was an update or not. The oil filter is in, the cooler is on. So I just got to torque this on. So I'm just going to go around and torque the sides, working my way out. Then I'll do these two at the back, and then I'll do these two big ones. And then also the oil cooler as well. Then I'm going to throw in my oil, and I'm not going to run it because I need to take the exhaust off next. So that's just the way it's going to be. It's just going to have the 5 liters of initial oil chucked in it, and then I will deal with the setting up the oil level later. And again, I got to do the greasing on here too. So scoot around and do the grease. So I'm going to wrap it up here. But for a two-wheel drive van, the oil pan on this thing is quite manageable. You should not be worried about doing it. You can have tons of access. Not a problem whatsoever. Servicing the transmission is easy on this as well. The 4-wheel drives will be a little more involved, but this is quite good compared to my 3500 Ram. With the 4-wheel drive, it's got a lot going on in the front end. So anyway, thought we would just kind of wrap it up here. Hopefully you found this useful. If you've got a road truck, you'll need to do this. If you've got a Chevy Express or an LS or an LQ, you're going to need to do this. They do leak off of the oil pan. So hopefully you found that useful, and thanks for watching.